What up, folks? It's your boy Big Mace out here enjoying myself in beautiful sunny Florida. Skies are clear, as you can see. It's a beautiful fucking day. I'm out here just doing my thing with my baby girl. 2017 Suzuki Hayabusa. Hey, first off, I want to say I appreciate all the love, all the comments, some of the ones that agreed with me, some that didn't, whatnot. I appreciate everybody getting on and speaking their piece. Appreciate the support. For those of you who kind of like see where I'm coming from and feel me, and for those of you that like got totally different opinions, you know, talking all that noise about killing myself and statistics and all that, look, keep it real. I'm not making these videos to try to tell anybody, you know, anything, and I think it's some kind of expert opinion. I'm definitely by no means an expert. I've been riding about 10 months, really, give or take a month or two. So I did have a month or two off for a work-related injury or whatever, but I'm not out here trying to tell people, you know, that I'm some kind of expert and that I know exactly what it takes to ride a leader bike if you never rode. And, you know, there's no doubt in my mind that you definitely can jump on a leader bike and ride. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the myth that it's impossible to do it is just that. It's a myth, all right? Like I said, I jumped on a leader bike and I haven't had any problems, all right? Granted, there's been a couple of close calls with cagers, you know, trying to push me off the road or not seeing me and stuff like that. But again, you know, I ride aware. I try to ride in the most visible spots, you know, all the stuff they teach in the safety course, and I haven't had any real issues, all right? So I just wanted to dispel that. If anybody out there is thinking I'm trying to tell you for some reason that, you know, my opinion is some kind of fact and it's some kind of expert opinion, it's not. It's just based off my experiences. So the only reason I make these videos is just to, you know, let everybody know where I'm coming from and what I've experienced from it. Because when I first got my bike, that was the first thing I did was I got on YouTube. And shout out to my dude Night Rider. His videos were very helpful. There's a couple others out there that I watched, and you know, it helped me out, and it helped me, you know, to get a little bit more confidence on the bike and to have some tips that I could use that, you know, worked for me. So, but anyway, back to the nitty gritty. All right, so a lot of cats been asking like, how's it been going? You know, what's riding been like since I made my first video? I think when I made the first one, I was riding about a month or something like that. Like I said, it's been just about 10 months now, give or take a month or so. Actually a little bit less than that. But anyway, whatever. The point being is it's been great. You know, the bike obviously is, you know, no issues with it. Haven't had any dings or scratches, haven't dropped it or did any other craziness. The thing about it is that, you know, I just been taking it slow still. You know, do I get on the highway and speed a little bit, let loose? Sure I do, but nothing crazy, no wheelies. No endos, no dumb stuff, all right? I'm out here just riding and enjoying myself. I've actually found a couple of guys that like to ride that pretty much the same boat as me. They're not trying to ride crazy. Actually, a couple of them actually even ride cruisers. You know, we've just riding down around the coast, hit Panama City a time or two, and stuff like that, man. I've been enjoying it. I can't really tell you anything more other than I know I talked about the A, B, and C mode briefly during my first video. I'll tell you right now, I kind of threw the ABC mode thing out the window about a week or two after that video. I found that riding in A mode, there is a difference in response. But again, just being aware of the throttle, you know, having good control and all that other stuff, haven't had any issues as far as, you know, taking off and doing wheelies and any of that crazy stuff. I pretty much ride in A mode all the time now. Actually, there's not pretty much. I do ride in A mode all the time. Haven't had to drop down any other modes at all. And to be honest, even when I do, you don't notice that much of a difference. I mean, there's a difference, but it's not enough to really make it that serious. Maybe in the rain or something like that. But I have ridden in the rain several times actually, and had no issues. Don't prefer to do that though, to be honest with you, on a sport bike. I don't anyway. Maybe if I had a cruiser, be a little bit different deal. But I don't generally have wet weather gear with me. So riding on a sport bike in the rain, not having a place to tuck any wet weather gear in case you run into that kind of weather, kind of sucks. So, but I mean, I don't know what else I can say about it, man. It's just, it's been great. I'm loving riding it. Even though I am in Florida, I'm in the northwest part of Florida, so I don't get as many fair weather riding days as you would hope for, but I get a few. You know, it's been quite a few. I think there's a lot more riding days here than you get in places north of me, of course, so no complaints there. And the bike handles like a dream. I haven't done any mods to it yet. I am going to plan on putting on some pipes, probably do a short pipe, and probably not a slip-on, probably, you know, something that's going to make a little bit of rumble, just so that I can be heard a little bit better. And I definitely plan on beefing up the horn because, you know, if you've ever heard the Boost's horn, it's kind of a baby horn, you know, that it comes with stock. And it would be nice to have something a little beefier, and apparently the dealership can do that. Aside from that, man, no major modifications planned. I'm not going to stretch it, not going to put a super fat tire on it, or any of that crazy stuff. Maybe a few custom things like some new grips, new windscreen, just basic stuff, man. Maybe a little stuff to just dress the bike up a little bit, but that's about it. I did get a question about gear. Somebody had hit me up about gear, and I think I did reply to him, but in case anybody else was thinking about gear and stuff like that, again, I'm no expert. I can just tell you what worked for me. Generally, I use a mesh jacket. It's kind of like more like a warm weather jacket, I think, than anything. It's just mesh, and it breathes pretty well. It does have an inner rain jacket that you can slip on, but honestly, that thing gets so freaking hot that most of the time I don't even wear it. My jacket is actually an Oxford, pretty cheap. I think I paid about $1.50, something like that for it. It came in my size, which is very hard to find. So if you're a larger guy, I'm gonna let you know now. Most of the jackets, it's hard to find jackets that fit like you want them to, but you can. Sometimes you want to spend a little bit more money, but the Oxford I got, the black and white one I had on in my last video, that's what I got, and it works fine for me. As far as helmet, I wound up getting the built Bluetooth. It's got the, was it 2.0 Bluetooth on it or whatever. It's a basic, a base model helmet as far as Bluetooth goes. I mean, it's not super loud. It's loud enough I can hear it on the bike now. Probably gonna wind up having to get a new Bluetooth once I wind up changing out these pipes, because right now when I'm on the highway or something like that at speed, I can hear my music, but there's not like really any bass in it, and it's kind of hard to hear all the words. And you know how it is when some of your MP3s or your iTunes stuff, some music is a little louder than others, so kind of gets annoying a little bit. But to be honest, for the $230 I paid for the helmet, it was worth it. You know, like I said, it definitely works really well for calls, as far as answering and calls and all that other stuff. Works great. I can hear whoever's on the other end great. Most of the time they can hear me pretty well, unless it's a windy day, and even then they can still hear me. I just got to speak up a little bit. Then as far as like clothing, I got asked about that. Generally I go with like the jeans or whatever I wear normally, like Affliction, only because Affliction kind of makes a stretchy jean. Anybody that wears Affliction kind of knows what I'm talking about. Most of their jeans are kind of a flexi type material, whatever, especially the I want to say the Blake series. So that's generally what I wear for riding. To be honest with you, that's probably not a whole lot of protection for, you know, if you were to have a fall or something like that. But again, I'm riding in Florida, and I mean, it's pretty warm most of the time when I'm out riding. It gets hot real easy, so I prefer to have something that fits comfortably, loose, and you know, works well for me. And the Afflictions, yeah, they're a little bit pricey, but you get what you pay for, you know what I mean? And that's about it, man. As far as riding boots and all that other stuff, I pretty much wear whatever boots I plan on wearing for the day. If I'm wearing my Timbs, I'm wearing my Timbs. I've worn Chucks before. I don't generally wear sneakers. If I do, like I said, it's Chucks, because the Chucks have that over the ankle support, but honestly, it's not really a whole lot of support. It just comes up over the ankle, so that's kind of cool. As far as my boots, to protect my boot for my shift foot, I got like a little boot slip on. You can see it there. Paid about, I think, $17-18 for that from Revzilla, and that works well to protect my boot. Keeps me from getting those black marks on them and all that other stuff. So unless I'm wearing my black Timbs, I generally use the slip-on in order to make sure my boots don't get jacked up. Other than that, man, that's about it for gear. Like I said, I'm by no means trying to say I'm some kind of expert, nor am I endorsing any of this. Just someone had asked that question, so I didn't know if anybody else had questions like that and was wondering what kind of gear. What I would tell you is do your research. Definitely look at the reviews. I'll say that definitely came into play for me for the jacket and for the helmet. I looked at all the reviews on it, and everything I saw on the jacket and the helmet, it gave them pretty good reviews. So it's kind of like one of those deals where you're getting bang for your buck. You know, it's a pretty good deal as far as the durability and the usability of the equipment for what you paid for it. But I always say, like, you know, you do get what you pay for. So there's definitely some high-end equipment out there, helmets that go for upwards of $400, $500, $600 and so forth. If you got that kind of money, you want to spend it, by all means, you know, that's do you. But I would definitely say do your research and figure out what you actually need, so that you're not wasting money. You know what I mean? That's about it, man. Like I said, the riding's been great. I've ridden in some crappy weather and I had no problems. I've ridden in some great weather, had no problems. I've ridden in a lot of wind, had no problems. And I'm just enjoying the bike. I don't figure that I'm going to have any issues because, again, I do respect the bike, you know, and that was the biggest thing I was talking about before, and that a lot of people commented on, agreed with, is you do got to respect the machine. You absolutely have to respect the machine, and that's been what I've been doing from day one. That's what I preached from day one, and if you look at the other videos out there that talk about riding leader bikes, that's what they tell you. You know, and there was a couple of people that jumped on and shared some experience, saying they had issues or whatever. I think someone even said they dropped down from a leader bike or something like that. To each his own. You know, I'm strictly telling you that me as a big guy, this is the kind of bike I need to be on. I'm not trying to hear anything about getting on those 600 or those 750. And somebody commented even about, you know, you should just got on a smaller bike and traded up later on. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. You're right. And a lot of people do that. But I did not feel the need to do that because riding the 600, it wasn't a matter of me having to trade it up later. It wasn't a matter of me worried about how I was going to look on the bike. It was a matter of comfortability. And anybody that's ridden a sport bike knows that right off the bat, they're not that comfortable if you're not riding a bike that fits you. You know what I'm saying? The bikes aren't that big. A 600, for me, there's no fucking way. I'm 6'2", damn near 290 pounds now. There's no way. I've sat on them. I pretty much swallow those bikes up. It looks like I'm freaking sitting on a tricycle. Same thing with a 750. I probably could have gotten away with 1,000, but I just still didn't feel as comfortable on 1,000 as I did on the fucking on the Booster. So that's what I went with, you know. And so for me, it's not about vanity or anything like that and trying to look all hard or any of that crazy stuff. I just got a bike that, one, I wanted since I was a freaking kid, and two, it's a bike that actually fits me. It's a bike that makes sense for a guy my size to be on, especially if I'm going to respect the machine. So, you know, my heart goes out to those people who may have had issues, anybody that ever got hurt, God forbid, killed or something like that, riding bigger bikes. But I would argue that the same issues you have on a 1300cc bike, you can have them on a damn 600cc bike. You know, it just depends on, one, your ability to ride, you know, what kind of skill set you have, how much you practiced, and then the mindset you have. Because some people get on these bikes and they're not situationally aware. Some people get out here and start riding and they're just as bad as some of the damn drivers out here, not paying attention to, you know, where they're at and looking at their surroundings, looking ahead of traffic, you know, riding so that you can be seen properly. All those things come into play. So yeah, definitely if you hit the throttle on a machine like this, it's going to jump and do its thing. But that's the key. Don't hit the throttle. Roll on, roll off. All right, so anyway, that's my piece for the day. My next video will probably be out like in the next week or two. I got a new GoPro, so I'm anxious to use it, get on the road with it. Thought about doing it today, but it was just too nice of a day for me to be fooling with that. I wanted to get some more riding in. So look for that in about the next 2 weeks, though. I'll have a GoPro video out, me actually riding. And I got a couple other topics I'm thinking about bringing up in my next video. One of them being the guys that ride the Harleys and the cruiser bikes and all that. You know, I'm kind of wondering, I'm gonna throw it out there, you know, a lot of them, I ride by them and I throw them the wave, you know. I thought that was kind of the thing you did when you're a biker, and a lot of them, I can't get it back from them. Not all of them, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them I can't get it back, and I don't understand what's the deal. Like, am I offending them somehow because of the type of machine I ride, or I don't know what the deal is. But anyway, that's a topic for next time. If there's anything y'all trying to hear about, anything y'all want me to speak on, please, by all means, get on the page. Send me some comments, let me know. You're more than welcome to email me. And I appreciate all the support I've gotten so far. I appreciate all the comments, the positive ones and the negative ones, because everybody's entitled to their piece. And keep supporting. I appreciate it. Please tune in to the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I appreciate it. And thanks, man. Have a good one.